Hey boys, it's HarmNone. Today we're going to be going over what to buy and what to avoid this week in GTA Online. So if you're unfamiliar, we have the Valentine's Day bonuses going on for the remainder of this week, all the way through to the 19th of February. So that is pretty cool. That means there's going to be some special clothing items and things of that nature, as well as limited time liveries on certain vehicles, limited time vehicles, and things like that. So kind of cool stuff. Before we get into the rest of the video, drop a like if you enjoy or you learn something, of course, and consider subscribing if you guys are new. A lot of you guys watch these, not a lot of you subscribe, so consider doing that. Before we talk about anything else this week, we got to talk about how to make some money this week in online and what the money bonuses are for the week. So let's go ahead and get into that. First and foremost, we have triple money and triple RP on all of the till death do us apart adversary modes. So we've got the bunker one here, we also have the missile based variant as well, and then just the regular till death do us apart, which is pretty cool. So triple money and triple RP, this is probably going to be a pretty active game mode this week. I would recommend this if you have some friends to do it with. I think it's a pretty good time, and I mean, making triple money is not bad, that's for sure. Hot ring races have also been added back to GTA Online this week, and they're on double money and double RP for the remainder of it as well. These are a lot of fun, and I would definitely recommend it to you guys to get into some hot ring circuit racing, because it's a lot of fun, especially if you get into a big lobby. And on double money and double RP, if you win, you can probably make about 100 grand a race if you have like 20 people in the lobby, which is really good. And even if you get like second, third, fourth, fifth, whatever, you're still going to get paid like quite a bit of money and have fun at the same time. So I would definitely recommend doing the hot ring circuit races this week, that's for sure. Additionally, we also have double money and double RP on all of the casino missions. And for completing the casino missions, you also get access to a free Enos Paragon R, which you can make into a personal vehicle, which is really cool. So this is kind of incentivizing you guys to go ahead and do these missions and get that armored Enos Paragon R. It's really cool. I would definitely recommend doing it. We also have double money and double RP on casino work as well. So we have the casino missions, then we also have casino work, which is like another variant, and I think you call Miss Baker for it if I'm not mistaken. Last but not least, and arguably probably the best money bonus of the entire week, is double money on taxi work. Now, taxi work has been buffed a lot since it initially came out. I think it got a 2.5 times increase on the pay, and then with double now on it as well, like it's probably pretty decent this week. I think you can expect to make around 200 grand an hour. So if you're like a low level player, that's actually really good money, and you'll get your driving skill up too, which is pretty cool. So I would definitely recommend doing some taxi work. And as a bonus for you guys, if you do have the custom vehicles like the Willard Eudora taxi or the Classique Broadway taxi, you can complete taxi work a lot faster using those two vehicles, and they're upgradable of course as well, which is very important. So that's pretty cool, and definitely something to consider if you are wanting to try out taxi work this week. Having a custom vehicle definitely can excel you a little bit further in taxi work than just a regular old taxi. Starting off with the property discount for the week, we have the Diamond Casino Penthouse, 30% off plus upgrades and modifications to it as well. The casino penthouse will get you access to the VIP lounge in the casino, which will allow you to bet higher amounts of money. So if you like gambling, this is something that you're probably going to want. You also get a 10-car garage alongside it. Overall, it's not the best property. It costs like 1.5 mil, so minus 30%, it's still quite expensive, but it is a pretty decent place. And if you have the extra money and you need more garage space, or you just want to have a nice place that you can customize, it is kind of cool for that aspect of it, I do suppose. Other than that though, you could probably skip the casino penthouse. You can just buy a regular high-end apartment if you're in need of another 10-car garage. That's what I would do, at least. You will save yourself a lot of money, but if you've been looking at a casino penthouse, 30% off, it's not a bad discount. Starting off our discounts with like the worst one of the week, we have the Shamal discounted, down from $1,150,000 to $805,000 for a 30% off sale price. The Shamal is not a vehicle I would recommend. You can literally just go to any airfield and you will be able to find a Luxor, other than Mackenzie Airfield in Fort Zancudo. If you go to LSIA or if you go to Sandy Shores Airfield, you will find the Luxor, and the Luxor is just a black version of the Shamal. They're the exact same. Other than that, I do not recommend buying a Shamal this week. It is a Pegasus vehicle. It's inconvenient to get to, and to pick one up, you're gonna have to go to the same place where you could just go and get a free one anyways. It's stupid. Please, for the love of God, don't buy a Shamal. It is a complete waste of money. Now for some of the really good discounts this week, we have 50% off of the Pagasi Torero XO, which is a fantastic car in a straight line. However, it does have one major issue, but for $1,445,000, I will just preface this by saying that is an extremely good price for everything else you're getting with the Torero. But its major flaw is that it does not get downforce. None of the spoiler options actually increase the downforce of the car, and the active rear spoiler that it has by default also does not increase the downforce on the car. It's broken, which completely sucks and kind of ruins the Torero XO a lot. However, it is still a really, really cool car to customize and to drive. Most of the time, if you're not really racing, if you're just driving around in free mode, you're not really going to notice the lack of downforce on the vehicle. However, if you are planning to race, I would not advise you to use the Torero XO unless it is drag racing that you are interested in doing, because the Torero it cannot keep up on a racetrack because it cannot turn. However, for this price, I would say generally it is a pretty damn good car for under $1.5 million. And if you were going to buy one regularly, it would cost you almost $3 million. So it is a very, very, very good car for this price point. And for that reason, I would recommend it. However, depending on what you like, I might recommend a different car even more. That car being the Progen Emirates, which is also 50% off this week and is even cheaper than the Pegassi Torero XO. Now this thing is for people that like to race. This thing's rear wheel drive, the Torero XO is all wheel drive. However, this thing does have downforce and it has quite a lot of it. For racing in the supercars category, the Emirates, as far as I'm concerned, is like the best car in the entire game, short of HSW cars. If you have HSW on your platform, or if you plan to do HSW races, the Emirates is not really that great of a car, especially in comparison to those HSW vehicles. Now, without HSW counted, the Emirates is really good. It has high downforce, it has a good top speed, 127 point something miles per hour, I'm pretty sure it is. The customization for it, however, is a little bit lacking, especially in comparison to the Torero XO. So what I would say, if you're interested in track racing for supercars and you don't have HSW, the Emirates is a fantastic car to pick up. But regardless, for this price point, it is a great car. So don't let me, sway you from buying one of these. But this thing is definitely more inclined and more suited to being good on the racetrack and not as good in free mode in some ways, because the convenience of the rear wheel drive when you're launching and going through, slow speed corners and stuff like that can be kind of annoying. So that is something to consider with the Emirates. Whereas the Torero, I would recommend more so for free mode and not for racing. So if you want to race, buy the Emirates, but if you don't want to race, buy the Torero. If you have enough money, buy them both. 50% off is a crazy discount for either of these cars, so I definitely do recommend picking up both of them up no matter what. I just, would say if you want to race, Emirates. If you want to do free mode stuff, the Torero XO is your car. So anyways, that's those two cars covered. Moving over to the Southern San Andreas Super Autos, we have some discounts here. We got the DeClasse Impaler SZ and the Bravado Dorado discounted this week. Neither of these cars, in my opinion, are worth the price. They're both 30% off, but they're still way too expensive for what they are. The Dorado's a cool car. It's got quite a bit of customization. It is relatively fun to drive. It is okay off-road. It's not the best, that's for sure, but it's an okay vehicle with some nice customization options for it. For under $1 million, like just under $1 million, I don't really think this car is super worth it, to be completely honest. Like, it drives nice enough and everything like that, but you can get a Camacho for 345 grand that will kill this thing. This thing does not have a hope in hell against a Camacho. So for that reason, I wouldn't buy a Bravado Dorado unless you just really like the Durango, which, I kind of struggle to... It's fine. If you want one, buy one, but I would advise against it if you like performance. If you just want a Dorado, though, you can do that. The Impaler SZ is a car that has pretty disappointing customization. Now, I would like this car a lot more if it had more that you could do to it, but basically your options are for the Impaler SZ, stock, so you can make it look just like you see it in the picture here. You might want to make it all one color. I think that'd probably look better than this, but all one color and stock like this, or a full racing kit. Those are your two customization options. It is stock, and it is a diffuser that sticks out of the back of the car to here and goes all the way like this, a massive spoiler like this, and a front splitter that goes all the way out to here. Those are your customization options for the Impaler SZ. So if you want to pay 900 grand for either a stock vehicle with no customization or a track build, that's on you. However, despite the track build, the performance of this car completely sucks still. So if you really like the early 2000s or very late 90s Impalas, then the Impaler SC might be a car for you. For the majority of you though, I would say you should probably not buy it if you care about performance. And last but not least, on the website as far as discounts go, we have the Dinka Sugoi. Fair warning, it's front wheel drive. That is the worst thing about the Dinka Sugoi. Honestly, everything else is kind of okay about this car. The price is a little bit on the expensive end of things. $856K if you don't have the trade price, $642 if you do. If you do have the trade price, I think this car is actually not too bad. It's got a lot of customization. It looks pretty good. It looks very realistic, just like the Honda Civic. In real life, you can make it look like a Type R, which is pretty cool. For the more expensive price tag though, of $856K for a front wheel drive car that has the performance that this thing does in the sports category, I don't really feel like it's worth it. Now again, if you want it for free mode, if you want it to customize, if you want it because you like the Honda Civic, absolutely buy one. However, if you care about performance, this is a terrible vehicle. Because of the front wheel drive mostly, but my point still stands. It's not a fun vehicle to drive. It torque steers, it understeers, it's just not that good. If you want it, buy it, but I would advise against it if you care about performance or enjoying vehicles that you drive in GTA Online. That's it for the vehicles on the websites. That's it for all the discounts, all the bonus money, It's time to go to the casino, the LS Car Meet, the dealerships, the garment factory, the chop shop, all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and get started. Within the casino, the podium vehicle for the week is the BF Club, which is the best compact car in the entire game for racing. So I would definitely recommend trying to win it. It goes for $1,280,000 and has quite a bit of customization as well. I think it's a pretty cool car. I would definitely say you should come to the casino every day and try to spin for it. Within the LS Car Meet, we have the Imponte Ruiner ZZ8 available to be won this week. Oddly enough, the challenge is actually a little bit on the harder end of things. It is placed first for 3 days in a row in LS Car Meet Series races. This thing, fair warning, is like one of the worst muscle cars in the entire game, although it does look really cool, and the customization for it is pretty neat too. I would say for this challenge, if you have somebody to like win trade with, then it's probably worth trying to win it. However, if you don't have somebody to win trade with, I don't know if I would waste my time on this car, to be completely honest. It's cool, but it's not that cool. So if you can win the challenges pretty easily, do it, but yeah, I don't necessarily overly recommend it. And within the LS Car Meet, we have 3 removed vehicles. Starting off on the left, we got the Volcar Warner HKR. We also have the Enos Paragon R, which is removed. And of course, the Canis Kalahari. Now, the Kalahari goes for $40,000, if I am not mistaken. That's correct. The Enos Paragon R formerly went for $905,000. However, this week it is on sale for $633,500. However, something to keep in mind. This vehicle is removed, but like I said, those casino story missions are on bonus money this week. So you can get an armored version of this thing that can take 2 RPGs as opposed to 1. So that might interest you. However, I would absolutely recommend the Enos Paragon R to everybody because for $633,000, getting a sports car that is this good, that has this much customization, and that looks this great is a steal. It's an awesome car. It's super fun to drive. Does not feel like bad in any sort of way. The only thing it might do is a little bit of understeer, but it's really not bad at all. The Paragon R is one of my favorite cars in the game. I would 100% recommend picking this thing up this week. It is absolutely worth it. And of course, the Volcar Warner. This thing is $120,000, which is honestly not a bad price at all. Now, customization-wise, I don't think this thing has a whole lot that you can do to it. It's been a long time since I've customized it. I would say for $120K, you really can't go wrong though, so I would recommend buying it. And I'd recommend the Enos Paragon R. And the Kalahari, I mean, if you want this ugly dog, I mean, you can, yeah, 40 grand, why not, I guess, right? Now, within Simeon's, we got some pretty banger removed vehicles, in my opinion. Starting off in the corner, we got the Ocelot Lynx. Now, fair warning, this thing's performance is terrible. However, it is a removed vehicle. The performance, though, it's really not good, especially for the abhorrent price tag of $1,735,000. Way too much money for this car and for what you're getting. However, the customization is kind of cool and it's removed. I have a soft spot for the Lynx. I really like it. I bought a few of them for sure. And I do think it is a pretty cool car. However, I can't lie. Performance for money is absolutely terrible. So you got to just like the car and accept it with its flaws, that's for sure. But yeah, cool car, but yeah, not really worth the money, to be completely honest. I would recommend it personally, just off of a personal note. But as far as performance for the price, it is horrible. It probably would get beat by the Jester, which is another removed vehicle, but this thing goes for $240,000, which is not a bad price whatsoever. The Jester's got some good customization. It's an awesome car. It's all-wheel drive. I'd buy a Jester this week for sure. If you don't have one, buy one. It is a great car. We also have the Dinka Thrust here as well. I think this thing goes for $75,000. Not much in the way of customization. As far as motorcycles go, though, I think it is kind of a cool looking one. I do think that I recommend the Dinka Thrust this week. It is a pretty cool car. Speaking of cars that I absolutely don't recommend, though, we got the BF Raptor. I'm not even going to talk about it. It's such a piece of shit. Don't even do it. No customization, like literally nothing. For the love of, like, this car, oh man, I'm not even going to get started. We also have the Shafter LWB available in here as well, which is a removed vehicle currently. It goes for $208,000, which is a little bit steep, honestly, for what it is, especially considering you can get the Shafter V12 on Legendary Motorsport right now for $116,000. So I would recommend doing that instead of getting the LWB. I don't think the LWB is particularly awesome, really. I would go for the V12 for sure. Now, I will say, Luxury Autos is actually serving its purpose. Finally, I can't believe I'm saying that, guys. It's been months, I swear to God. We got the Classique Broadway with a limited time livery available in Luxury Autos. It's got those hearts on the side of it there, and it says Lovers on the side as well, which is kind of cool. And then, of course, we have the Albany Roosevelt Velour. So we actually have some removed rare vehicles with rare liveries in Luxury Autos. I can't even, I can barely believe it. I really, truly can barely believe it. I am very glad to see it, though. I'm not disappointed in Luxury Autos this week for like the first time ever. So that's awesome. Within the Chop Shop this week, we actually have a claimable vehicle. I know, I can barely believe it either. We have the Albany Roosevelt Velour available this week, and you can keep it, which is really cool. In order to do that, of course, you're going to need to complete the Duggan Robbery. For the Obey Omni or Omnis, you need to complete the Podium Robbery, and for the Obey 10F, you need to complete the McToney Robbery. Your priority file for the week within the Garment Factory is the Brute Force file, so that's pretty good, I guess. The gun van is right here on the map, right next to the highway, just across from the red parking garage, which is right here. It's in the next parking garage over near the construction site here. And in the gun van this week, we got the combat shotgun, we got the precision rifle, which is terrible. Please, for the love of God, do not buy the precision rifle. Combat shotgun, though, pretty cool one. I would recommend that one. Heavy rifle, way too expensive for what it is. I don't recommend that. The Gusenberg sweeper, which I do believe is a limited time weapon, is available here. I would 100% recommend this thing. It is an awesome gun, just simply for the cool factor. And we got the nightstick as well, which is, I mean, whatever. If you want it, you can get it for sure. We got tear gas, sticky bombs, and proximity mines in here as well. And yeah, body armor. I'm gonna go ahead and buy super heavy armor. Might as well, right? Might as well have that. So yeah, that's where the gun van is for the week. For your time trial, we got the RC Bandito time trial right here. It's construction site 1. Your junk energy time trial for today is sewer system. Your regular time trial is, of course, Stab City, and your HSW time trial is Del Perro Beach to Murrieta Heights. So it starts right about here and it ends down over here. So anyway, guys, there you have it. That has been it for what to buy and what to avoid this week in GTA Online. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, dislike if you didn't, of course. Comment a 4 if you made it to the end of the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, take care. Peace.